authentication in Nestjs. If you have worked previously in role-based authentication in Node.js, you can do it easily in Nestjs. Let's say we have an example. You are building a YouTube type application. In a YouTube type application, you will have couple of roles. If you have YouTube channel, then you know you will have a roles. Let's say we have these features. As an admin, he can upload YouTube video in his or her channel. This is a requirement use case. Admin can assign permissions to other users like manager and contributor. Admin can make other user to manager or a contributor. A contributor can add comments on the video. A manager can upload only video. Admin can assign only upload feature to a manager. A manager cannot delete the video. So how many roles we're gonna have? We're gonna have these type of roles. Let's say you will have the admin role. Admin can assign permissions to manager, contributor. So we will have admin role. Admin have all of these features. Every features we have in the application, admin can access. We have a manager role. Manager can only upload videos. A contributor can only add comments. A user, it's an end user. End user can view only videos. End user can watch videos. So we have these type of roles. Let's say you can have any roles like super admin, manager, candidate, employer. It depends on your use case. But the functionality, the main fundamental concepts will be same. Implementing the role-based authentication. First of all, we need to create a role. I can create a new folder. I can say roles, or you can call roles. And what we're gonna do, let me copy that code. We need to create a decorator, role dot or dash decorator.ts. I can call role dot instead of dash. So what this code is going to do, we don't have enum yet. This set metadata is used to create a decorator. A decorator is nothing more, it's a function run on the on a class on a function. You can execute a function on a function. So this is the name of the decorator roles key. Like you can implement in this way roles. You can apply on any function or the decorator. You can do in this way. Let's say I have a controller. I can say user controller. Let's say I can say only admin or only user, only admin can access this route. So I can pass the name of the role. I can say the admin. That is it. So what we have done here, we created the decorator. This is the code for the decorator. What this is doing, you can collect multiple arguments in the roles array, and the collected argument type should be role, this one. So role parameter will be array. If you want to add multiple roles, you can also do that. Let's say one endpoint can be accessed by the admin role and the manager role and the contributor role. You can do that. That's why we have created this syntax. It's a spread operator in TypeScript or in JavaScript. This is used to create a custom decorator. So we have applied the admin role, created the decorator. We don't have enum yet. Let's create the enum. I can create the enum here, roles.enum.ts. I can have these roles. It depends on your application. You can have the manager role. You can have the contributor role, contributor role, contributor role. By the way, I provided the starter kit code in a project in a video description. You can download that, or you can clone the GitHub repository and start from the video number 5. So we have defined the enum. Let's import it here. Instead of roles, I can call the roles.enum. So whatever you will provide here, it will be treated. Please provide the value that included here admin. Now we need to implement the roles guard. You can create a guard in Nestjs. I can say roles. It should be guard, not a. I provided the wrong spelling. Guard in the name of the guard, which is roles. So here we have the roles guard. So we need to add a check here. Get rid of this one. Here we need to implement the logic to handle is there admin or is there manager or is there contributor. Whatever you will define here, this role will be checked here. This one. We are saving the request.user. In the request.user, I think we are saving only ID or the email. I'm not sure that. We can verify that in the user service. Yeah, we are. I think let me find the token. Yes, we are saving the ID and the email. I think we need to store the role here, but in prisma.schema file we don't have roles property. We need to create that. Let's create a role for the role. Let's create an enum for the role. I can say the role by default. I can set the user role. So we have updated our schema file. We need to create the migrations. npx prisma migrate dev. It's gonna sync the role property in the users table. I can say edit role. What was my application name? I can find that from the env, and the name of my application nest underscore nest dash prisma dash task. So let me find that, this one. Here we have the users. You can see the role property here, this one. That looks good. So we need to save the role property here. By default, it's gonna add the user role. Like default, we set the user role. Whenever you create a new user, the role should be user. Or you can also provide role from the front end. While creating the token, what we are gonna do, I can say the role. I can set the role. I can set user.role. That's it. Role in a user token, whenever user will log in, the role property will be saved in the JSON based web token. So you need to provide the JWT token to access the private route. Let's say the profile route will be accessed for only user. So the token will be stored in the user. It's gonna run this roles decorator will run this function, can activate function. So we need to write the code for the function, this one. I have already written that. Let me write that for you, or you can copy that from my GitHub project, GitHub project. First one, we need to use the reflector. It's a class. It helps to work with decorator. If you want to create a custom decorator, you need to use that reflector. They have done the implementation for decorator. So there is a method in the reflector, get all and override. Don't worry, I'll teach you what is this. It's gonna take the role array. I can import that from the enum. It should be roles. And we need to provide the roles key. We have specified that key here in when we are creating the custom decorator, the roles key. So we can apply the roles. the the second argument, we need to provide the array, and let's provide this one, the current request handler returns the reference of the handler. In our case, we are implementing this guard on a user controller, this one. So the get profile handler will be the handler function, the get profile. It will be treated as a get profile, and the class, this one is my class user controller. If you want to know more about this one, I can also show you the API of reflector. There are a couple of methods here. We are interested in this one because we use this one. It retrieves a metadata for a specified key for a specified set of targets and return a first node undefined value. Like, it will return the metadata. You can consider that. You need to provide the source function and a target function. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but you gotta use that. If we did not apply the role, let's say in the user controller, if I'm not applying the roles, it will return the true. This check will be executed. If I apply it, it should find the role, deconstruct or get this user. Let's say in the token we saved in the auth guard, I think so. I think we need to save the token here, this one, not in the users file. I think yes, request.user, we have the payload. There are other options. Yes, request.user, whatever we are getting from the token, we are saving it here in the request.user. That sounds good. We have implemented the auth card. It's gonna run the auth card here. Can activate will run. If you have not watched my previous video, you can do that. Got the request, got the token from the request header, decrypt the token and get the payload which we saved here while creating the token. What we have done, this one, the expiry date, we have set the token for 1 day. I also set the role. Now technically I will have the role here. I can check it. Let's get the user property which we saved in the request payload, this one. So I got the user. Let's try to find the user from the our roles we defined. Required roles dot sum. Please try to find the user roles. Make sure the user role, it should be roles or role, I don't know, whatever we have set here in the schema, role. So I can say user role. User dot role include true. This is good right now. Let's try to test the code. But one more thing, I want to teach you how can you apply the roles. Go to the user controller and here you can apply, let's say, By default I will have the user role, so I can set the user. What it is saying that yeah, you can roles dot role dot, I think we need to import. So when I will send the profile request by providing the JSON web token, first of all it's gonna call the user auth card. I can log the user auth card. I can say auth card. I can do some log. Auth card runs, and here I can log the token received. I can log the token. Here I can say the payload I got. Payload JSON.stringify to convert JSON into string for the logging purpose. And finally we have set the request.user. Now I have set the request.user. I can access here in the roles guard. So I can log here roles guard runs, and what I can say required roles, I can log that. Required roles JSON.stringify required roles, and I can get the user here. I can say the user, and you will see the role. Let's run the application. npm run start dev. Everything is working fine now. First of all, we need to create a new user. Let's say get rid of this observable. Inside the user controller, we need to create a new user by sending the sign up request. http localhost colon 3000 / users sign up. It's a post request. I can provide the unique email. Let's say whatever email you want to provide. Password test 1 2 3 4. So a user has created. Let's send the login request. Now I got the access token. So when you send the login request, remember we are saving the ID, email, and the user role. By default, I have a user role, but we can also do that in the create user DTO. I forgot to add that. Or you can set the, let's say, create user DTO. Oh, not this one. Create user DTO. To make it simple, let's import is enum from class validator. We need to import that from the role. That looks good. Now it can accept the role, but it is saying that I think we need to run the Prisma migrate dev. Everything is up to date now. What is the issue here? I think in the sign up we need to check that. Role is not assignable. What is issue? I think I have defined a different role here. Let's refactor in the roles enum. We need to use the same value for the user, for the admin, for the super admin, for super admin, for sub admin we're gonna use sub admin, for manager I can use manager contributor. That looks good. Let's generate the migration. Error should be gone now. Users dot service, everything is good now. Instead of importing from the role enum, we need to use the Prisma typing. Prisma client generate typing for us. So I use that. It fixed now. I did not change anything here. Now my application is running. So I got the access token. Now we need to access the profile route. I can say profile. To access the profile, it's a get endpoint. We need to provide the token in the authorization header. I can say that authorization header, and I can provide the token. It's admin, it's a user role, so you can see a couple of log. Auth guard runs first. I can open the auth guard. You can see the log auth guard runs, and I got the token which I have provided. I got the token received, and I got the payload. Inside the payload you can see I have the email ID and the role. And what about this one? Inside the user, but I have set I think the user role, so it should call the role guard, but I cannot see the role guard. It did not run the role guard. I think I'm missing something in the app module, in the users module. The roles guard did not run because I did not add in the users module. So inside the providers here, we need to register another object. Let's import the roles guard and app guard from Nestjs core. Get rid of this one, I think. Yeah, what is missing here? Think that looks good. Because we have created the guard, we need to register in our providers, as a dependency. Now I can use the roles guard here inside the users module. Let's send the API request to fetch the profile. Oh, I got the issue here. This time it ran the roles guard, required roles. I got the user. You can see that. It got the user roles run. Inside the roles guard, I got the user, but user is undefined. This is the issue. But it ran the roles guard first instead of use guard. What about this one? If I change the location, let's test it out. Still got the 500. So what we have to do, this one is undefined. I'm not getting a user. If let's try to get the request, and let's say I'm gonna return true here. Let's log the request dot user. Oh, user is undefined. First of all, it is running the roles guard, then it runs the auth guard. What is the issue? Should I change the position of this one? Oh, I think I fixed that. No, it did not fix. The user because the roles guard runs first, then it runs the auth guard. So instead of using separately in this way, I had to add the auth guard first inside the use guards decorator. I gotta provide the auth guard first, then I need to provide the roles guard. I did not register the roles guard here, and here you can specify the roles.user. If you want to add multiple user, you can also do that in this way. Multiple role for a single handler function. I also updated inside the users module. I was not registering the auth guard globally. So you need to register these two both guards globally. First it should run the auth guard, then it should run the roles guard. Let's double check that. I can send the request. So I got the email ID and the role user. I got the, let's say first it ran the roles guard runs. I got the role required roles user, and I got the exactly user, and here we have the role, and here now it's gonna run the auth guard. Actually it runs here. First it runs the auth guard. Let's do that. Clear everything. Application is running. Awesome. Auth card runs. This looks good. I got the token received, payload, and it ran the roles card. Required role and the user. It ran the auth card against token received, payload, and roles card. Everything is good now. So this is a complete flow of role-based authentication. You can also provide multiple role in the controller here. For that, you must have the role for the user. To have the multiple role inside the schema, you need to create the array.